Hello and welcome to May to December's channel. Today I am reviewing Charlie Countryman, starring Shia LaBeouf as Charlie, whose mum is in the hospital and he decides to have after life support machine, where when she dies he sees her spirit come up through her body and out of her mouth. And as he sits in the hallway of the hospital as she's passing on, he sees her and basically talks to her, which is probably obviously in his mind, even though he's got some sort of psychic connection in some way. And basically she talks to him and says he needs to go to book a quest to find himself. So a little while later you see him on the plane where he meets Victor, who sits next to him, and they're talking about basically that he comes from Romania and they have fun and they have champagne. Well, later on Victor dies and Charlie wakes up to find the body, and he tries to tell the stewardess, and the stewardess covers the body, where basically Victor talks to him, another part of either Charlie's memory or maybe a psychic connection again. And he talks to him and says to him basically to give the hat that he bought his daughter to her. Well, when he gets off the plane, they won't let him have the hat, and he gets quite worked up about it and gets tasered. And they basically question him, and as he's walking through, he sees them give the hat to Gabby, or Gabriella, and then he meets her, and they have a little conversation, and then later on, as he's driving a cab or taxi, he sees her crying in a car, where basically he pulls over, he asks the cab to stop, and he tells her to basically move over, and he goes to drive. Well, the people driving the dead body of Victor, her father, are smoking pot basically while they're driving the ambulance, which is a bit absurd really when you think about it. And basically they end up crashing into each other, which is crazy, and the body goes flying out, she goes running to it, and it gets really crazy. But anyway, later on Charlie finds Gabby again, and she's talking to Mads Mikkelsen, who plays a rough gangster in it, who is also her ex-husband, who's a bit obsessed with her, as well as not taking a good liking to Charlie. So basically you end up with him and Charlie basically not getting along, and Mads Mikkelsen's character Nigel threatening Charlie quite a bit. Well, later on he goes to a hostel where he meets Rupert Grint and the guy from the In-Betweeners in England, and basically they take drugs and everything, and basically the visuals are so beautiful in the movie, and the music's good as well, but the movie itself lets itself down because he's supposed to be finding himself, but it just seems like he's an overbearing person who's obsessed with getting in the woman's knickers. And through the movie you're like, why aren't you backing off? And this guy threatens you, and it's obvious that Nigel, Mads Mikkelsen's character, is meaning what he says. He's going to kill him. Well, long story short, the movie ends quite I wouldn't say it's a good movie, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, I'd say it's alright. There's a lot of drug use in it, and you know, if you want to have a movie where you don't have to think and you can just enjoy it, I guess this movie's for you. It might be some people's new favourite movie, but it really loses its way halfway through. Like, there's a chase scene, and you're like, why would you go back to the place where they're obviously going to be after they've chased you? It's just one ridiculous scenario after another. But I enjoyed it, and I hope you do too.